Good morning. This is I Care, I Move. I'm Pat Taylor, and we are about to deliver week 11 of Move More Falls Prevention here in Cornwall and Ardersilly. If you're feeling up to it, go for it with all your energy. Make sure that you adapt within the session so that if you are feeling a bit tired, take it down. If you've still got energy, then go to full speed, full capacity. If you're under the weather today, take it easy, sit down at any point, take the movements down, take the arm movements down, and just sit and pump your heels if you need to. Make sure you've got inhalers, sprays, anything you might need, and have some water as well to keep hydrated. It's really important. And feel free to stop at any time if you need to. You don't need to kind of keep going if you don't want to. So let's start coming to the front of the chair, into a bit of a sway. Make sure your feet are wide. And just sitting at the front third of that chair. Let's think about posture. So, we tend to sit with a slouch at first. So grow, lift through the belly, the chest, shoulder. I always say that, don't I? Collarbones open. Roll through those shoulders. Let's roll them first. So a big roll, sending them up, back, and then down, or which can feel quite nice. Tuck your chin in a little bit as well. Because what we don't want is this little chin sticking out. We get a bit of a tech neck, so kind of a forward-leaning neck, head. And our heads are heavy, so let's bring our chins back and just keep them in line with the rest of our bodies. Okay, let's pump the heels. Add in a small arm movement. This is just your circulation boost, your warm-up, so getting ready for the class ahead. Warming up through your muscles and your joints to prepare them for the bigger movements shortly. You might need to move your feet forwards a little bit. See how you go. Thanks for joining us today. Are you doing your homework? Are you writing it down? Are you really? Okay, feet wide. Hands come down, lean to the side, use the muscles in the belly to lift you up. So you don't want to lean too far down so that bottom is lifting off the chair. We're just leaning, feeling that stretch, and then using the muscles to bring you back up. Drop the shoulders. So homework is really important. It's the difference between you doing it once a week. So I haven't been to exercise class for a while, for a few weeks, and I went last night and I was exhausted, lost a lot. I haven't lost my strength, but you lose confidence and you're kind of not sure of your body and what its capabilities are. If you keep practicing in the week, whether that's 10 minutes every day or doing another hour or doing some heavy gardening, heavy housework, etc., then you can count that. But actually practicing those things that you know you're not very good at, okay, march. So if your balance is what needs to be worked on, then you should be practicing your single leg stands, your swings, tandem, standing on one leg by a worktop, or brushing your teeth, for example, using those little points within your day to practice. If you're not very strong in certain areas, grab your band, grab a tin while you're cooking, waiting for the kettle to boil, do some knee bends, do some squats, holding onto your worktop. And that could just be a minute. It could be 2 minutes. Add it up, build it into your day, and then build it into your week. And what happens is you see a quicker progression. You'll see longer term progression as well. And you'll keep doing it forever. Okay, let's pop hands, holding onto elbows, feet are wide, knees are wide. Let's take a turn, a rotation to one side, come back to center. Now, I know some of you like to be standing doing this, so feel free to stand up and do this, sliding your hands along the back of the chair. I know some of you are seated for a lot of the session, but if you can, at some point, come into standing. That's fine. And I was thinking about you, I always think about you. So I know somebody stands in front of a sofa, for example, and has a chair in front of them, just for safety in case they're a bit wobbly. You could have a chair in front of you and a chair behind you. You could have chairs either side of you to just enable you to stand a bit longer. Okay, march again. So anything that makes it not easier, well, it will be easier because it might give you more confidence. Or you might want to practice again when somebody's near around. So if you've got somebody in the house and you think, oh, I'm not very sure about that movement, get them to watch you, do it with you. And we had some lovely testimonials. One lady was with their friend in church and she said, and actually it's a good time coming up, Easter's coming up, and it's a lot of standing up, sitting down. She said, I'm going to stand up every time in church without using my hands, and her and a friend did it. So you can build it in to, I'm not saying you should be thinking about taking your mind off it when you're in a service, but you know what I mean. Watching the telly, you can stand up and go and get a cup of tea. You could sit down, stand up several times before you go and get that cup of tea. Okay, hold it there. Let's lift the shoulders and drop them. So this lady must have stood up and sat down without holding on, without pressing, I don't know, how many times? 30? Maybe more? Up, 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 and down, down, down. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. And the other thing, I know I keep saying to you, don't hold your breath. The other thing to think about is when you hold your breath, if you've got blood pressure problems, it can make your blood pressure rise. So another reason not to hold your breath, okay? When we're in those harder moves. Okay, back to your march. Adding in bigger arms, maybe. I'm going to stand now because I think some of you, or most of you, will want to be standing. If not, stay sitting. So what do we do at the top of that stand? March the heels, pump the heels. I'm coming behind my chair on my squeaky floor. Just marching, just marching. Marching is excellent. It's so good for you. Gets your heart rate pumping a little bit. You can do it with low arms, just wiggling your hands. But if you want to make it bigger, if you're cold, I was really cold one day this week, get up and move around. Excellent. Okay, feet wide, you can be behind your chair. Let's come into those shoulder rolls. I know we did them a little bit, but rolling them forwards, up, back and down, and letting those shoulder blades really rest down at the back behind you. Lovely. Keep going. Soft knees. Excellent. Any creaks, crunches? I had a little one there. And then let's march. Doesn't have to be fast or fast. Lifting the knees up in front of you. So we're not kicking back, we're lifting up. Excellent. I can see lots of lovely arm swinging there. Okay, go into ankles, foot, heel, toe. So heel on the floor, lift the knee, put the toe on the floor, or the ball of the foot, not the toes. Lift and lift. Ankle mobility is so important. And I know some of you won't get that movement, but if we can get as much movement as we can in your ankles, then it's all good. It gives you much more mobility. You'll be stronger because you can make those bigger movements with confidence. Lovely. Let's swap sides. Heel, toe. Notice the difference. You might not see a difference. There might not be a difference. You might have more pain in one side than the other. Or stiffness. You might not always have pain. You might have stiffness. Or you might have a fused joint, for example. And then it's difficult to bend the toe maybe, or fab, and then march again. Okay, a little bit of a neck movement. So finger on, actually, first of all, take your feet wide, soften the knees, finger on your chin. I want you to keep your finger there, and I want you to pull that chin back, and it gives you a double chin. So pull back, and I'll show you from the side. Oh, not very attractive. Pull back, keep the finger there, and you're just pulling the neck, the head away from the finger. And what does that do? It stretches the back of the neck. And sometimes when we hold a lot of tension, or we end up knitting, reading, phones, laptops, anything forward facing, folding down, can just lengthen the muscles in the back of the neck and shorten in the front. And we're actually trying to do the opposite. So pull back, and then let's drop the chin onto the chest. And then we're just going to draw a little semicircle. So we're going to move the chin from one shoulder, touching the chest, chest, keep it down. Look into the other shoulder. So we're going down like a little U shape. Down, down. And then we're going to lift up to the front. We're going to look up. Now, if you're going to be dizzy, hold on. Same, but you're going to go in the rainbow. So up and over to the center, down to the other shoulder, up. So a little rainbow, down, but stop in the middle. Lovely. Good, good. And then little march. And we're going to move on to endurance. So this bit is bringing your heart rate up a little bit into a manageable level. So you need to be breathing constantly, no holding your breath. If you need to rest at any point, you can. Level should be, when it's a 0 to 10, energy levels and how much you can do, about a 5 or 6. So you shouldn't be like so worn out that you can't do anything. You shouldn't be like singing along and skipping. Midway, so that you could do a little bit more still, but not too much. So it's up to you to decide and to adapt where you need to. So if you're too high, take the arms out, just march and come back in when you're ready. Okay, so just a bigger march. It doesn't have to be faster. I'm adding in out my arms, up to my ears. My elbow comes behind me. My knees still come up in front of me. Okay, hold it there. Low, heel pump. Shake your fingers out. We're going to tap to the side. Tap and tap. Tap. You can hold on. You can not hold on. You could hover. You could just have one finger, 2 fingers. Tap. You can add in opposite arms. We're not into balance yet, so you don't need to practice balance, but actually adding in your arms, we know, makes your heart work a bit harder. And that then will help get you up hills, slopes, stairs, doing anything that would normally get you out of breath a bit more. And I measure it by, let's do another move before I tell you. Okay, just heel pump. I measure it by, we go to the gym, and as if going to the gym isn't enough, you've got to walk up a hill to get there, up the driveway to get there. So you're puffed out by the time you get there. You go down the steps to the gym. So I do classes. Okay, single step to the side and back behind your chair. So you've got that support. After my class, when I'm feeling worn out, you've then got about 20 stairs to go up and then down to the car to drive home. And I know if I've done a lot of cardio that I'll find it easier to go up those hills. and being able to breathe. I can go up hills, but it's, can you breathe? Are you exhausted at the top? Do you need to go a bit slower? So that's how I measure my cardiac function, my ability to breathe through repetitive exercise. So a little bit of cardio, a little bit of strength work through legs, and always balance. Confidence is a big part. If you're afraid, you're going to look down. If you're afraid of falling, you might take smaller steps. So let's make these movements a little bit bigger. So lift that knee up and over. So if you've got the chair in front of you, slide that hand across. What we don't want is that movement. Okay, so we're lifting up and over, up and over, up and over, and then we're going to march. And I always say in endurance, you might not find the movements particularly getting easier, but in these resting moments, these recovery moments, you might be ready to go again quickly, more quickly. You might not, you might maintain your level, that's fine. We're not deteriorating then. And some people with progressive diseases, conditions, might decline, but hopefully it's not as quick as if you weren't doing exercise. So it's all good. Get your breath back here. Make it slow. I always go really fast there. I get carried away. So we're just pumping the heels. Going into lunges. So I'm stepping away from my chair. I'm going to lunge forwards on one leg. I can press on my chair if I need to. Come back to that wide base of support. Other foot. Press back. You're steady here in the center, ready to go any direction. Keep breathing. Using the big muscles. This is why we get you out of breath. But you monitor it. Again, where are your levels? 4, 5, 6, 7. If you're higher, make it smaller. If you're sitting, step forwards in your chair and lean. Or that staggered stance with a little bunny hop. Squeak. Excellent. Keep it going. Keep it going. So adding on the amount of times we're doing this, repetitions. Good, good. Let's do one more each side if you can. And then we're going to march. Just march to recover. Take some breaths. How are you feeling? How's your breathing? Is it quite fast? Are you feeling puffed out? We want you to feel a little bit puffed out, but not too much that it doesn't seem manageable. Fabulous. Okay, one of my favorites. We're going to go into a wide step and a dip down. So it's like a wide knee bend. And I'll show you from the side because you really need to stick your bottom, hips back, knees bend. So we go wide and in, wide. And you can see that my chin isn't really coming too far forwards. I'm not hinging forwards from my hips, for example. I'm just bending the knees, pushing the hips back. So it's like a wide squat. Do what you can. See if turning your toes out a little bit helps. Because knees sometimes hurt. And if you've got knee problems, which I know some of you do have, feel free to sit. If you are sitting, it's a wide squat. It's a wide bunny hop. Here, you might need to take your feet back a little bit. And it's a press and a sit. How does that feel? Do you like that one? I really like this one. Okay, come back to your heel pump. So you should be feeling quite warm, like you've done a nice workout, but you might be nearly ready to stop. If you're really out of breath, keep those hands down and just wiggle, jiggle your fingers. Then we're going to go into a side step and add arms. If you want to, if you're still puffed out, no arms. Sitting, you can still do arms, just a tap out. And actually, you could do that standing if you didn't want to do the side step. Lots of variations for you to work it how it suits you. I like this one better because if you're trying to do arms, you might catch your hands on the chair. So thanks, Jess. He likes this one. You can add in a squeeze of the hands, little bicep curl. You could add in a little press to the front. Is it better opposite? Yeah, it's better opposite hands. Oh, someone's dancing. Who's dancing? Oh, Jill. Oh, and Jackie, you could have a little dance. You could do a little disco ball, a little disco roll with your arms. And then reverse direction. Okay, let's just take the feet wide, come into your sway. Fabulous. How's your breathing now? Okay, we're going to come into a march, low arms, nothing major with your arms. We're bringing the heart rates down. Feet are rolling nicely from toe to heel, lifting heel to toe. Breathe. What are your levels now? 0 to 10. Okay, feet wide again. Let's just do one arm into that lovely sway. Drop the shoulders, take that tension out of the shoulders. I was going to say you've done the hard bit, but for some people, the balance might be the hard bit, the strength bit might be the hard bit. So we're all so different. And some weeks we're better than the others, that's fine. We know some people have lots of things going on that mean they have a bad week, or if you don't sleep for nights, then that can affect your energy levels. So be kind to yourself. No arms, sway. Be kind to yourself, look after yourselves. If you don't want to exercise, if you haven't got the energy to exercise or do the gardening, it will wait till the next day or till you're feeling better. But actually, we know exercise, getting out in the fresh air can really lift your mood, those endorphins that help your body, help your brain to feel better. Breathe. March. Slow. Controlled. Oh, have you got your breath back? If you haven't yet and you need a bit longer, take a bit longer to just march. Grab a drink of water. We're going into balance. So I'm going to stay standing, but feel free to just sit if you need to briefly, or you can do some of it in seated. What we know is if we stand, practice in balance, it will improve our balance. It's challenging proprioception, where your brain is, where your body is, and where your brain thinks your body is. And practicing helps the muscle memory. It helps our bodies to remember those movements as we practice. So let's start with some little heel lifts. So feet are wider than just either under your hips or a bit wider, I would say, just for safety. Soften the knees, and we're just going to lift the heels, lower them down. You can hold on to the chair, press it, not grip on, press down. Try and lift through both feet evenly. Spread the toes out in the shoes, and then squeeze the thighs together and see if that makes a difference, because what happens is you're pushing everything towards the center. You've got more control. and lift up, lower down. So smooth movements, up, 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 and down. And maybe try it without putting the pressure into the big toes and squeezing. How does that feel? What happens is your ankles will go all over the place because your ankle is not stable. It's got nothing to stabilize it. So those tips are really important. If you're thinking, I've got to lean into that, I've got to reach into that cupboard, press centrally. Okay, let's add the reach. Now, I'm going to reach forwards and up. Seated, it's exactly the same. You're lifting your heels. You're at the front third of your chair. Let's swap arms. Not fast. We're not going to do too many because otherwise your calves will be sore. Press up, up, up. We're not reaching above the head. It's like something's in the back of the cupboard. You can't quite reach it. And hold it there. Just lift the heels, just stretching out, just releasing any tension there. Okay, I'm going to stand facing you. I'm going to take my feet a little bit wider. I'm not coming onto my toes at the minute. I'm not lifting my heels. We're going to reach across and up. So as if this arm's not working, okay? And you've still got to reach over and up. Think about posture. So is your belly pulled in? Is your bottom tucked under? Reach up and over. Can you reach the other side? Are you as confident reaching? So we're going across the body. We're not reaching out. We're reaching across the body. Take your time. So watch, watch, watch. Across, up, across, and down. Take your time because I want you to reach, reach, reach. Feel that. Let me show you from the side. Reach, reach, reach. Feel that heel lifting up a little bit. Coming back down. Reaching up. Lovely. Better. Lovely. Reaching up and coming down. How does that feel? Hold it there. Hold it there. Now we're going to reach up and out. So we're going to reach up and out. I'm going to move my chair so you see what happens to my feet. I'm going to reach up and out. My knee is soft. I'm coming off my heel here on the opposite side. Central. Reset. Posture. Reach up and out. If you've got a sore shoulder, just take it low. Come back to center. So a real focus on that reaching, but we're not coming off the heel. We're not lifting. We're not rising onto the toes at the minute or the balls of the feet. Okay. How do you feel? Only if you're confident and you're safe doing that. How do you feel about reaching forwards with both arms? Just a little bit and come back down. So forwards and up. Forwards. And I can feel the weight transferring onto the balls of my feet, but I'm not lifting my heels up at the moment. Coming down. And this can be quite scary because you've got no support. If you wanted to try it with just one hand, you can. Just supporting with one hand. Breathing, don't hold your breath. Eye gaze forwards or looking up to where your hands are going. Lovely. And rest. Good work. Now, I want to move on a little bit to reaching down. So just watch first. I've got my chair and we've done it in the warm-up, in the endurance bit. I'm going to step forward. So you don't have to step as far as a lunge, but you could do. Step, then I'm going to reach forward. Eye gaze is following my hand as if I'm picking something up off a stool or a chair. I'm not looking down to get something off the floor. I don't want you to do that. I'll show you from the side. So step, reach, pull back, step wide. And then you could do the other side. Or you can stay on one side for now. Reach, come up, and then step back. Step out. You can hold on, reach, 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 pull back, step wide. Keep going. In seated, hip walk forwards. Take one foot back, maybe. Reach. Sorry, step forwards, reach, step wide. Take the other foot forwards, lean, reach. So you get that same feeling. Step, reach, pull back, step wide. Step. Actually, my chair should be a bit further forwards because when I'm in this most vulnerable position, I should be able to press through my chair to use it to support. So if you've done enough, stop. I'm on my last one. And hold it there. Have a breather. How do you feel? Are we okay? That's thumbs up. Are we or are we dear, need work? Doesn't matter if you need work, it's practicing. Practice, practice. Okay, what have we got next? Compensatory steps. I love this bit. I love compensatory steps. It's the difference between feeling wobbly and crashing to the floor, either way, forwards or back, than stepping out. And it looks simple. And it is simple, but we have to practice it. It has to be part of your weekly, daily practice. So I've got the chair at the side of me, and all I'm going to do is take a step forwards and out. And then I'm going to come to that lovely, it's not a wide, it is, yeah, it's your wide base of support. So we're not really narrow, we're steady here. Then we're going to step out wide, step out, come back to center, posture, step back, center, step to the side, center, step forwards, center. It's the clock. So you're half a clock face. I used to teach it with the times, but it's so confusing because I've got to do it back to front for you. So my 3 o'clock is probably your 9 o'clock, maybe. See, I'm already confused. But what we can do, hold it there. If you feel safe doing this, you might not feel safe. Try it. Have the chair by you because we're going to go, I'm going to ask you to go in different directions. So we're going to go forwards and come back to center. We're going to go back, come to center, to the side, and center, forwards, center, forwards, center, forwards, center, back, center, to the side, center. Good. So you can see that when we practice this, if at any time something's going to make you wobbly or need to go in a different direction, when we have that stable base of support, you're ready to go in any direction. Let's swap sides. So either turn around or just move your chair. Exactly the same in seated. It's difficult to move backwards in seated, but it might be you just turn. You might just turn a little bit, turn your eye gaze. Right. If you need to do this when you've got somebody with you, have a break, have a rest, just stand in a great posture. Wide base and maybe just step out. So lots of options, or you don't have to do it right now. So we're going to step forwards. Wide base. We're going to step out. Wide base. We're going to step back. Wide base. So I've got my chair if I need to. Wide and forwards. Let's go wide again. And let's go back one more time. And then we're going to go in different directions. So we're going to go forwards, forwards, backwards, sideways, backwards. Eye gaze up, side, backwards, forwards, sideways, forwards, hold it there. Very good work. So how does that feel? A bit scary or okay? You might surprise yourself and go, that's really good. That's really easy. We're going to sit. Have your bands close by. Sit down properly in your chair. Or have a full back rest if you want to. Just have a moment. It can be quite tough standing for that length of time. You've been standing for probably half an hour. So if you're not used to standing and moving, and I know some of you have backache, let me talk to you about that while you're just having a rest. Backache, especially when we're doing lots of squats and things, can come from, or just other things, can come from, it's called lordosis, and my posture is lordotic. And I stick my bottom out and my back is curved and I sleep this way, which is why I think I tend to be in this position. So, but when I come into a squat, my bottom sticks up and out and it really puts a lot of pressure on your lower back. So how do we connect that? How do we correct it? Eye gaze forward, bottom tucked under, belly pulled in, and you keep your bottom tucked under and press up rather than, so see the difference here to here. Hopefully you can see the difference. So, and that goes in posture, walking. So thinking about pulling under. And it takes a while because remember your muscles have memory. So they will automatically want to go back into that original position. But it can be, you can practice it sitting in the chair, tucking your bottom under. You can feel it more. It's a bit of feedback because you can feel the weight going from here. So all my weight is here. If I tuck my bottom under, my weight is here. And then it just stretches, lengthens, like I was saying about the neck, it lengthens the spine, the muscles that protect the spine and support the spine, and it shortens the muscles at the front of the body rather than short, long here. And that should help any lower back pain, pelvis pain, like pain in the pelvis at the back, because that might come from posture. Okay, and some of us lean back, some of us that sway back or lean back, different types of postures. So have a look in the mirror, see what you look like. Think about your posture. Imagine a rectangle, square on, and then look side on. Okay, bands, biceps, triceps. Band on the floor, both feet on your band, hand part, so band to the outside edge of your leg, hand onto the band, palm up, and then the band over the top of your hand. Don't wrap it round, you'll get blue fingers. Great posture, breathe, tuck your chin back, elbow sneaks in and is super glued to your waist. I'm going to just move my feet forwards a bit, just to be more supported. Drop your shoulders, this is not really a shoulder movement, and then bring that hand up towards the shoulder and lower it down with control. Now that's quite easy, so I'm going to hold it a bit further down. If it's too hard, hold it a bit higher up. My wrist stays straight and in alignment with the rest of my arm. I'm only moving from the elbow to my hand. I'm not lifting up here. Elbow is like somebody's tied your arm to your body. Breathe. Remember what I said? You can push your blood pressure, your heart up. So if ever you feel a bit dizzy doing this, breathe. Now, can you hold it up? And do tiny little presses, as many as you can do, just maybe a couple, or if you can do like 6 or 8, even better. And then let's lower down and rest that arm. We'll give it a shake. So I'm going to show you face on. So it's not this, not that, okay? I'm working my shoulder there. I want you to work your biceps, the front of your arms, and the only way to do that is, and try it without a band. The hand slides from the outside of your thigh and it comes to your shoulder. It's a downwards, upwards movement. Keep that elbow in. It's super glued, Velcroed. You got Velcro. Keep breathing, smiling even. This is your second set. And I don't count because I'm chatting, but I reckon we've got 2 more, which makes it about 8. And then we're going to hold it up if you can. If not, let go, not let go, lower safely. Ooh, tiny little presses. Squeeze that bicep, squeeze the band, lower down, let go. Oh, shake out that hand. Can you feel that in your hands? It's really important that we focus on wrist strength, grip strength. So keeping that hand straight in line with your bone is really important. Gripping, finger strength allows for your muscles in your fingers and that dexterity to fasten buttons, but gripping jars, opening tops. Let's swap sides. Wine bottles. Yeah. I'm not really, yeah. Wine bottles, whatever takes your fancy. Elbow in, most important. It's not the most important, it's one of the most important. If you're doing that, it's not biceps. So squeeze that band, hand to the shoulder, lower down, and it should come back to that same position. Adjust it. Pull up towards the shoulder, lower down. Breathe, don't hold your breath. Pull up, 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 lower down. Up, 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 lower down. Any little mini earthquakes going on, little shudder. Ooh. If you need to stop at any point, please do. One side might be better than the other, might be stronger, might be weaker. Come back to it later if you've got a weaker side and you know that that needs a bit more practice. Hold it up, nice strong wrist, tiny little presses. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. And lower down. Ooh. Shake it out. Keep it there. Wiggle your fingers. And let's go again. Elbow tucks, grip. Think about engaging this muscle. So immediately tighten that muscle in the bicep at the front of the arm. Squeeze up towards the shoulder, lower down. Adjust that band if you need to. Pull up, lower down. And up. Is your elbow tucked in? Is it Velcroed? Is your shoulder relaxed or drop down? Don't hunch it up. I reckon we've got 2 more. 1. You can stop if you've done enough. Honestly, you write down, hold it there. Oops. Pulse. Keep going. Pulse, pulse. Keep going. You write down how many you've done. Let me know. Lower down. Well done. Oh, open those fingers. Take the arms, palms forwards. Send the arms back a little bit. And then send the thumbs down and send the arms back. Have we got time for triceps? Not really. Bicep, triceps. Not really. Yeah, let's do triceps. I love triceps. You know I do. Both feet on. Band, again, outside of the leg. Hand drops down this time. It drops right down and holds the band low. Let go of the band. Elbow comes back and up. Back and up. If you've got a sore shoulder, then just maybe a little way. So back and up, and then that elbow is pulled in, and you're going to straighten that arm. Keep the elbow high. And you might only be able to do a couple of these, or loosen the band off to make it easier. Straight arm, bent arm, always elbow back. So when I'm front on, you shouldn't be able to see my elbow at all because it's facing back. It's pointing to the back of the wall behind me. Back and in. You should feel tension. Out and in. Ooh, out. And I won't make you pulse. Hold it there. Ooh, shrug the shoulders. We'll stretch them out in a minute. 1 more. hold down, pull back, send that arm straight and bend, straighten and bend, drop that shoulder. And as it gets harder, you might start to sneak that shoulder up. If you've done enough, stop. And I'm going to stop there. So that was probably about half on that second set, which is fine. And that was the right side, and that was my right side. So it might be less on the other side. Let's swap the band. Both feet on. Hold the band at the side. Grip down, lower down. Relax the band off. Elbow back. So your hand comes to about hip height. And then we're going to straighten that arm. Bend, adjust the band, straighten. Definitely harder this side. Straighten it off, bend. Let me turn around so you can see. Straighten, release. But you should still feel that muscle working as you release. I'm going to hold it further down. Straighten, release. Drop the shoulder, eye gaze forwards, and rest. That's much harder on my weaker side, on my less dominant side. Breathe, get some oxygen to your muscles. And then let's go again. Elbow up and back, straighten and release. Nice, strong wrist, gripping that band. Excellent grip strength. Try and grip with all of your fingers and your thumb. If you can grip with your pinky finger and your thumb, it tends to engage all of the other fingers as well. As your shoulder sneaks up. Out, and then rest it out. Done. Oops. And then we're going to go into Tai Chi and then flexibility. So I'm going to stand. You can sit, especially if you're tired. Come up to standing. Right, I'm going to direct you in proper foot placement this week. So, and it's the same in seated. So the left foot or this foot facing, whichever foot it is to you, might be your right foot. The heel tucks in, toes are pointing out. The other foot is going to step forwards with the toes. So you've got almost like a T shape, but adjust so you feel steady. Remember, wide base still. And it might be that you have a chair in front of you, and that's fine. So my feet are at different angles. Then we're going to take the weight forwards. Now, somebody said, how on earth do you do this bit? Bend the knee and just transfer the weight a little bit onto that. So again, you might get a bit shaky. Small, forwards, bend that knee. And up, forwards. If you're sitting, you're just leaning into the leg and leaning back. Leaning forwards, leaning to the side. So it's kind of like forwards to the diagonal, center, back and sideways. And you need to stick your bottom out a little bit in that backwards movement. And then we're just going to add arms. So those little row arms, rowing, bend that knee. Row, bend that back knee. So I'm just taking my hands far enough forwards. I'm not overstretching. My movement is in my legs. Or if you can't do that, just stay sideways. It's easier in staggered, but you could just add smaller movements. Lovely. Let's go in the opposite direction. So not opposite direction, sorry. Hands under, back to the waist. You can do it one-handed if you wanted to hold on. Up to you. Do what's best for you. Under, it's like a teardrop shape. Under and over, under and over. Then we're going to step wide. Tuck the heel in, toes out. Step forwards, toes point to the diagonal. And let's just practice that shift of weight, one side to the other, like a forwards and a backwards. So it's like the diagonal shift, front corner, back corner, front corner, back corner, front corner. Then we're going to add the arms. So small arms, rowing to the waist, forwards. And you can see I'm not overreaching. There's no tension in my shoulders. Reaching, pulling, rowing over. And then we're going to go under. So under, pull back, under, pull back, under. And one more. We're going to step wide into that wide base. We're going to sit. So take your time. Sit down properly, feel the chair. Full back rest. Woo. Lots of legs, lots of arms. Full back rest just for a moment while we need to come into some stretches, especially arms. So we're going to hip walk forward in your chair. So we've just done triceps, biceps. So take your palm facing upwards, but drop the arm. And then either press the heel forwards, or you can just take the fingers and just support, and then try to lengthen, try to not straighten, but press the elbow up towards the ceiling. And then swap sides. So either press, that might be enough, or just gently assisting. Lovely. And then let's stretch triceps. So hand on the opposite shoulder, draw that arm in, and then pull it in towards the body a little bit more if you can. Feet wide, maybe forwards a little bit. And then hand on the same shoulder, lift that elbow, give it a helping hand, and then lift. Pat yourself on the back if you want to. You deserve it. And then arm comes up, walk those feet out, arm goes over your head. And then coming forwards and out. Other side, hand on the same shoulder, lift that elbow, give it a little nudge. Lift through the chest, sternum, arm up, overhead. And I think I missed a bit out. Did I do this bit? Arm on the opposite shoulder and drawing. I think I missed that bit out. Better do it, or you'll be uneven. And then let's reach back to the chair or lower back. Squeeze the elbows towards each other and lift the chin. Eye gaze up, take a lovely breath in. Then out. And then legs, one leg is straight, resting on the heel. Walk the foot forwards. Hand on the thighs, lift up, and then lean over forwards. Lean forwards as if you're leaning over something. Breathe. Excellent work, team. You're amazing. Keep the heel there, just rest off, and then squeeze the toes up towards the kneecap. And then let's swap sides. Other leg, nice and long, toes up to the ceiling. Walk the other foot out, lift and forwards. Hinge from the hips. Neck is neutral, eye gaze towards the floor, so about 45 degrees. Keep the heel there, relax off, and then squeeze the toes. Oh, my muscles, I feel it. It's a good feeling. It means you've worked muscles that you haven't worked for a little while. And rest. Walk your hips back, or lie down, grab a blanket, whatever you want to do. Make sure you're safe and you're not going to fall off the side of the chair. 2 minutes. Close your eyes. Take a long breath in through the nose and a breath out. All the way out. And then breathe normally. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And I just want you to notice your body. Start from the toes. How do your toes feel? The insteps, the tops of your feet, the heels, around the ankles, the Achilles. calf muscles, shins, knees, kneecaps, backs of the knees, backs of the thighs, and fronts of the thighs. Around the hip joint, into the groin, sometimes we get aches and pains there. The bottom, lower back, belly, around the waist, bottom of the ribs, almost circling the body. Up to chest, around the tops of the shoulders and over the shoulders, and then working your way down and around arms, around the elbows, forearms, wrists, fingers, thumbs. Working your way back up to the top of the arms, around the neck, pulling the chin back again, lengthening through the neck. Feeling the jaw, how does that feel? Take the tension away, relax the teeth, relax the tongue. Cheekbones, eyelids, eyebrows, frowns, go, disappear. Around the temples, scalp, relax. You work really hard, so you deserve a break. Move your toes, move your fingers. Come up to sitting, hip walk forwards maybe, or you can stay where you are in that rested position. If you need a bit longer, feel free to just leave and rest. Let us know how you got on. Otherwise, we'll be back next week, week 12, so moving it up a little bit, adding in movements, progressions. Let us know how you got on. Thanks for joining us. This was week 11, Move More, Falls Prevention. Take care.